This will be for the con exercise, factor quadratics by grouping. So for all of these, the instructions will be to factor the quadratic expression. So these quadratics right here are in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, and a, b, and c are the coefficients. So here a is positive 2, b is negative 13. Make sure you include the negative sign. And c is positive 20. And what you want to do is find two numbers that multiply to a times c and add to b. So we're going to start by writing out a times c. Okay, a is positive 2, and c is positive 20. And 2 times 20 is, of course, 40. All right, we want to write out the factors for 40. And we can stop when we find a pair that adds to negative 13. So we have 2 times 20, negative 2 times negative 20. We have 4 times 10 and negative 4 times negative 10. We have 5 times 8 and negative 5 times negative 8. And I think we now have a pair that adds to negative 13. That's this right here. So we're going to use these two numbers to replace negative 13. Okay, so basically we're replacing the b term. So this is going to equal 2x squared. And instead of negative 13x, I'm going to use negative 5x and negative 8x. And then we finish with a positive 20. All right. And what we're going to do now is factor each of these individually. Each of these binomials individually. So I'm going to make these first two a binomial, and I'm going to make the second two a binomial, and I'm going to enclose that negative in the parentheses, but I'm going to insert a plus sign in between the two sets of parentheses. Okay, that doesn't change anything because negative 8x is the same as plus negative 8x. That's the same thing. And now we're just going to factor these two binomials individually. So between 2 and negative 5, there's no common factor. Between the x squared and the x, when the variables match, you choose the one with the smallest or lowest exponent. So we just choose x right here. It's the same as x to the first. All right, 2x squared divided by x is just 2x. And negative 5x divided by x is negative 5. All right, we still have the plus sign here. And between negative 8 and positive 20, the greatest common factor is positive 4. Okay, this doesn't have an x, so there's no x factored out. Negative 8x divided by 4 is negative 2x. And positive 20 divided by 4 is positive 5. Now notice the binomials in parentheses match with the exception of the plus minus signs. Okay, this is basically the negative version of this one here. So the way to solve that problem, you can change the sign on the term you factored out. So instead of positive 4, I am going to make this a negative 4. Let me use the white out here. I'm going to make this negative 4 instead of positive 4. And now, since this is negative 4, this becomes positive 2x, and this here becomes negative 5. So instead of positive 5, I'm going to make it negative 5. All right, so change the sign on this, and then you can change the sign on each of these. And now what we have is binomials that match, and that's what you need. So 2x minus 5 matches 2x minus 5. I'll write that first. And since x is multiplied by 2x minus 5, and negative 4 is multiplied by 2x minus 5, the next binomial is just going to be x minus 4. And that is your final answer. So in the box, type parentheses, 2x minus 5, hit the right arrow key, type parentheses again, x minus 4. So there you go, 2x minus 5 times x minus 4. So notice the plus sign in between is removed because this is now in factored form. All right, one more. These are all in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. All right, so we can just match up our coefficients. A is 12, B is 17, and C is positive 6. All right, so we're going to start with A times C. And A is 12, C is 6. So 12 times 6 is 72. We're going to write out the factors for 72, and we can stop when we find a pair that adds to positive 17. All right, so 72, 9 times 8, and negative 9 times negative 8 both work. Okay, and I think that's it. These two can replace, oops, I'm sorry, wrong one. We're looking to replace positive 17, so we want positive 9 and positive 8. Okay, so these two terms are going to replace 17. Okay, they're going to replace the B term. So rewriting, we have 12x squared. And instead of plus 17x, we're going to do plus 9x and plus 8x. Okay, so we replace positive 17x with 9x plus 8x. And we still have positive 6 at the end here. And just like the previous problem, we are going to factor two binomials individually. So I'll use parentheses on the first two terms and the last two terms. Okay, and again, you want to leave a plus sign in between the two binomials, the two sets of parentheses. All right, between 12 and 9, the greatest common factor is 3. And between x squared and x, you choose the one with the lowest exponent, so that's x. 12 divided by 3 is 4. X squared divided by x is x. 9x divided by 3x is positive 3. Okay, between 8 and 6, the greatest common, well, we have the plus sign here. Between 8 and 6, the greatest common factor is 2, and there's no x here. 8x divided by 2 is 4x. 6 divided by 2 is positive 3. All right, and again, if these are the wrong signs, plus minus signs, you would just change the one here, and then you can change each of these plus minus signs. But in this case, 4x plus 3 matches 4x plus 3. I'll write that first. And then 3x is multiplied times 4x plus 3, and positive 2 is multiplied times 4x plus 3. So the next binomial is just going to be 3x plus 2. And that is our final answer. So inside the box, type parentheses, 4x plus 3. hit the right arrow key, type parentheses, x plus 2. I mean 3x plus 2. So that right there is your final answer. And if you really want to check your answer before you finalize it, you can use FOIL or distributive property on this right here, and you should get the original quadratic function.